The back line playing quite high up the pitch and not allowing Tunisia to really get good penetration towards the penalty box.
To start with, as Zambia come bursting through the middle. Nice ball. What plays a lovely 1-2. He's on the edge of the box. Interesting stuff. Another 1-2 shot comes in. It's 1-0. Zambia have taken the lead after 18 minutes. And it's the number 7, Jacob Lengwe.
I would like to say that my biggest desire is to see that our athletes in this country can be developed so much that we will be bringing medals.
I was very impressed the way the coach with the senior boys approaches games. The tactics is really using pound for pound, player for player, they are good. They can compete.
But Zambia to
Commentary Box is brought to you with the compliments of Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation Sports Desk. It's an informative, educative, progressive and developmental sports program, giving you a professional touch. Enjoy the program.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently.
It's another Saturday. Good afternoon and welcome to Commentary Box with me, Lengwe. As usual, we are here from about now until 17 hours. It's a program that is divided into two halves. We have the first half that will go from now to about 15:50, and then we come back after the news at 16 to continue with the program, and we'll go on to about 16:50. So you're most welcome. This is a program that talks about the sporting events that everyone is talking about in Zambia, on the continent, and of course in the world. And we have packed a good program for you, and I want to urge you to stay tuned, and so that we can be together from now up to about 16:50. A lot on the program. We'll talk about the CAF Awards. Of course, they did happen on Saturday night. Some interesting news coming from there. And also last night, there were awards in Choma, Green Eagles. And of course, I will look at that as well. And as you know, it's a CAF weekend. A lot of games are being played in the CAF Champions League, as well as the CAF Confederation Cup. But elsewhere, also a lot of action in England. There was the FA Cup, some surprising results coming through. And in the French Cup, also there are some big news coming. PSG beaten, eliminated from that particular cup, and no one expected that to happen. And of course, in the studio, I've got my usual panel, the panel that I've been with for the past couple of weeks. And we do continue on the note where we left off, and I want to welcome my guests on the program. And of course, these are familiar names. I've been with them for the past couple of weeks, and I'm happy with what is going on. And let me take this opportunity to introduce my panel, able panel of luminaries, a panel of people that can be able to add some meat to what everyone is saying. Of course, they've got a different eye in terms of sport. And let me welcome you gentlemen. Gentlemen, let me welcome you to the program. Musuku Mwape, you are laughing. What's up?
I thought you've forgotten our names. I thought maybe you have forgotten our names.
No. How can I?
I imagine.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to be back on the program and looking forward to an interesting program.
Okay, and also on the program, Coach Nebart Phiri also joins us on the program. Of course, and Coach, welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much, listeners.
Okay, it's an exciting program as we talk about the CAF weekend. A lot of, as we are speaking, Nkana are on the pitch. We'll be getting in touch with. We'll try and get in touch with someone who is watching that match live in the stadium. Of course, there was a campaign to fill up Nkana Stadium, driven by one Bwezani Mbewe, and I hope that that campaign has worked to fill up the Nkana Stadium. And I'll be trying to find out if that has materialized. But Coach, let me start with you. PSG beaten. No one expected it. Star-studded. If you talk about PSG, all the skill is there, but it wasn't their day.
Yeah, it wasn't their day. I think they took it for granted because maybe the team that were playing against it, I think they looked at them and they didn't appear to be much strong, but I think they worked as a team, and PSG had a lot of chances, but they played as individuals. So at the end of the day, they are out of French Cup.
Now, what does that mean for a big team like that? Because those are cups they should lay their hands on without problems.
Such teams, I think, normally when you have succeeded, you stop reflecting on what has made you successful. Then you start looking at individual prowess to be the most important thing, rather than teamwork. Then you find that the other team comes in as underdogs, and they want to make sure that they do everything possible to work as a team. At the end of the day, you find that individuals are always beaten when there's teamwork.
Okay, and Musuku, where was Cavani? Where was Neymar? Where were the big stars, Di Maria? Nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen. That's why we love football. Because it provides you with different results, unexpected ones. When you expect PSG to triumph, you just see them losing to Guingamp. And yeah, that's the good part of football. And we enjoy seeing big guns like PSG being beaten by small teams because it's just...
Can you say that again? You enjoy?
Yes, I do enjoy watching big teams being beaten by small teams.
I don't think supporters for PSG will take lightly what you are saying.
They won't, because they wanted their team to win. But when a big team loses, I think it gives them time to see what has gone wrong and what really they need to improve on as a big team playing in such competitions, because such competitions most of the times are taken for granted by the so-called big guns. So when they lose like that, then they will be able to take them serious come the next time around they participate.
Okay, that's sad for PSG. I think that they should have put that particular cup in the bag without problems. But maybe it wasn't their day, and they have to look up to the league. They are doing very well, Coach, in terms of the league. Maybe that's a consolation.
No, I think I felt they felt pain because they showed it on the ground even after the game ended. But I think to me it just shows me the outcome of what they were preparing for, because there is nothing by accident. So their preparation meant that they are going to lose, because maybe during that time the team concentrated on the individual talents rather than teamwork. Then when you look at Cavani, he came in late also, but when he came in, he made an impact, but that impact was also not enough to redeem PSG.
Okay, and but they look like they will run away with the league as things look.
Yes, the league, I definitely, I'm 100% sure they will do that.
Okay, and but let's move on. Let's talk about the CAF Awards before we can talk about Nkana. I know the game is on right now, but let's talk about the CAF Awards. Every now, our own Coach of the Year. You know, and we must be proud of that, because we are told he carries a Zambian national registration card. So it's very easy to say Zambian one Coach of the Year. Coach, how do you feel? Is your fellow coach?
No, Hebrena, I think, has been successful, so he deserves that. He has done a good job. I think him being in Africa has also helped African football or get to that level where we can look up to it that no, there's something that is happening in Africa. He has contributed tremendously to African football, and definitely, even in Zambian football, I think he has friends around, he still contributes, because one time I think I was watching one of the matches at Hero Stadium where when he arrived, I think everyone was happy to see him in the stadium. So I think he has got an impact both in Morocco, Africa, and specifically maybe we can say Zambia, because it's here where he became the champion. So whatever he is going to do or is going to achieve, whatever accolades he's going to receive, the people knew him from Zambia the first time he won the AFCON.
Musuku, was he really the best coach for 2018? He didn't win the AFCON. He's not the one who won the AFCON. Given when he didn't win, don't you think he should have been given to the coach who won the AFCON?
Well, I solemnly think and feel that he deserved the award, not because he's been here and all those roots he has back here in Zambia. But if you look at his reign as the Moroccan coach, he was the first, he qualified Morocco to the Africa Cup of Nations with a 100% record. And if you have you go back and check the group they were in, they were the likes of Ivory Coast. And beating Ivory Coast home and away, I mean, it was it's not a mean achievement. Looking at the star-studded side Ivory Coast have, and looking at the way the level he found Moroccan football, and to the level he's taken them, he qualified them to the World Cup. And I should, if my memory serves me right, I think they were the first team to qualify to the World Cup from Africa.
You're right.
Yes. So if you look at all those, I think he did pretty much well. And if you go back to the World Cup, I think he fared so well. Has it not been for VAR and their contentious decisions, I think they would have reached the last 16. So well deserved for me.
Well deserved. That's Hevrena. Congratulations to him for that. He keeps moving higher and higher, of course, and we hope that he does win the AFCON with Morocco again.
Yes.
Considering Zambia will not be there, so
yes.
At least we have one Zambian we can put our support on, and that's Hevrena. And I'm sure me and others will be able to go for Morocco. Morocco, here we come.
Yes.
For the Africa Cup of Nations. Let's talk about Mohamed Salah winning it for the second time in a row. Coach, don't you think they should have given it to Mane this time?
No, I think he deserves it also. He has done a tremendous job at Liverpool, because when you look at the combination of both, I think they have done a good job. But let's look at Mohamed Salah and what he has done for Liverpool. I think it's tremendous. Yes, Mane has been trying, but I think he needs to do more. Or maybe the best way that they can offer good competition is maybe one of them leaving Liverpool, so that you can see how the Mohamed Salah and the Sadio Mane are going to perform in two different teams. But basically, Mohamed Salah deserves to get it.
Are you shaking your head or nodding your head? Which one? Which one?
I'm nodding.
You are nodding?
Yes.
You agree?
I'm agreeing.
Why are you agreeing with everything? I think Mane should have been given.
I don't know what coach has done to me. We seem to be getting along on the same pages. But yeah, coming to the award, I think yes, Mane had a tremendous campaign last season. The year 2018, but I mean, Mo Salah, take away nothing from him. I know when we say about what he's done for Liverpool, people say no, but he has done, what has he done for Egypt? Just a reminder, he scored the goal which qualified Egypt to the Africa Cup of Nations. He scored the goal that took Egypt to the World Cup. So you can see how instrumental he's been both at the national level and at the club level. And there was a lot of talk when the man was injured in that UEFA Champions League final. If he wasn't injured, maybe he would have won the league. Liverpool were saying that. And during the start of the season again in August, as he dipped in form, there were all concerns if Liverpool will compete. But since he's come back very strong, scoring goals left, right and centre, and Liverpool are on the top of the table. So well deserved for him. Mane has dared him that next time he will win it. So I'm looking forward to that competition.
I'm looking forward for that particular competition. And what about his form now? Do you think that he still offer competition for this award in the coming awards?
Yes, Mane still offers competition, but the only thing that they are all belonging to the same club, so maybe that competition might end up destroying their striking force at Liverpool, because that means we have a situation where Mane wants to score, Mohamed Salah wants to score. So at the end of the day, they should do that competition to the advantage of Liverpool, but putting in mind that they're also competing to win awards at the CAF But not only that, maybe they should also concentrate on the Champions League, UEFA, because there they can also win some awards from UEFA, and you can see them doing more, so that maybe we can have another a person who can come out as an African who can win Africa Cup, Champions League, or UEFA award, and also you can get the World Player of the Year. So maybe we can have one of those few moments that our former player George Weah produced.
Yeah, and that's the challenge that we have as Africa, to be able to win that award again.
Yes.
And Musuku, do we look like we can do it? Yeah, because if you look at the Ballon d'Or, are we getting enough competition from Africa to be able to win our second award?
I think we are getting there. We are getting there. Look at Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the way he's been coming for Arsenal. The guy has been in tremendous form since moving from Borussia Dortmund to the Gunners. If he scores today, he should be the third fastest player to have scored. Is it 25 goals in the Premier League in after 36 matches or so? I think I should be getting back to my records very well. But if he scores today, he will reach a certain landmark. So if you look at Mo Salah, his performance has been, both from last season and this season, I think he's been tremendous also. He's helping Liverpool going forward, and he's been really vital to their progress in the Champions League and the Premier League. Mane, take away nothing from him, very good player. On his day, he can provide both goals and cause problems in front of the opposition goal. So I think as Africa, Koulibaly as a defender is coming up so well. He's making the headlines. He might be moving for a record-breaking transfer fee of £80 million. So we see if we have Africans moving and doing all those they are doing for their clubs. I think we are getting there. We are getting there. Particularly that Messi and Ronaldo are going into their evenings of their career. So it might just provide an opportunity for Africans to pop up.
Who do you think, I know you mentioned a couple of names, but going forward, who is the biggest prospect for Africa?
Well, biggest prospect. I think between Mo Salah and Aubameyang, these two, most specifically, if you push me against the wall and tell me one, I tell you one, I think I'll say Mo Salah. If Salah continues with his prolific form where he is, and keeping in mind Egypt are hosting the Africa Cup of Nations come June, July, and I'm sure it will be a very big boost for him. He will perform behind the clouds, and his own team, his own backyard. And at Liverpool, he doesn't look like someone who will move anytime soon from there. So he is the hottest prospect we can be looking at to just do something for Africa.
Let's move on to the Green Eagles Awards that were held last night, and we've got the list of winners here. This function was officiated by Zambia National Service Deputy Commandant Major General Ali Kamiji, and I did some interesting pronouncements where some players and other officials were promoted. That's good news for their performance. But let's look at the awards that were done, and the player of the year for Green Eagles is Caesar Akaluwa. He's the captain of the side. And and if you look at this list, it's almost the same players that won last year. They've just exchanged awards because Caesar was the most disciplined player last in 2017, and this time he has won Football of the Year, taking over from Bonfen Sunzu. And if you look clearly, you'll see Bonfen Sunzu there as well. And let's talk about the captain. Not a big name per se, not an influential name, but I know that at some point he was called to the provisional national team by Siven. And how is it important, coach, for your captain to be able to be named the player of the year? If you are coaching a team and your captain comes out as a player of the year, how do you feel as a coach?
I feel very good, and I feel encouraged, because it means that he was a leader. He did everything possible to make the team successful. Remember that that means there was good communication between the players and the technical bench, and sometimes between the technical bench and the executive. So you find that the flow of information through the captain must be consistent so that the team shouldn't doubt what the coaches are saying, because any doubt in communication brings external tension, which at the end of the day can result into players being aggrieved, players questioning certain decisions, and when the decisions coming from the technical bench are being questioned by the team, it means that there is no teamwork. So losing starts in the dressing room. That's why most coaches know that losing starts in the dressing room. So if the dressing room is good, there's teamwork, especially passing through the captain, then you know that it's a great achievement for the captain to win the Player of the Year award.
Great improvement at Green Eagles, even from the way goals were coming, because Tapson Kasewa named as top scorer. Of course, it goes without doubt. He scored more goals. In fact, he was the highest Zambian in terms of scoring goals. Is it?
Yes, he was.
He was the highest Zambian.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but what is interesting for me is that in 2017 he scored 6 goals. Okay. And in 2018, he scored how many? Is it 19 or 20, somewhere around there, just below Mbombo. Mbombo scored 21.
Yes.
So he must have scored 19 or 20. I mean, this is clear that if your strikers are able to increase their goal tally, means that the team will do well as well. Musuku.
Exactly, and it shows the hunger and the desire to move forward in the players you have. Because it's a great achievement and great improvement. Scoring 6 to 20 or so goals, I mean, every coach would be proud of such a player. And I think it also up to the coach, and you should be giving credit to Agri Chiengi, because I think he might have said 1 or 2 things which helped Tapson to come up this good. And I think every striker and every player, regardless of the position they are playing, they should be putting efforts like Tapson did, because it shows that the guy worked harder than he did in 2017. And we hope to see more of this coming this year, so that from the goals you scored, you improve. Not you score 15, next season you score 10. That doesn't augur well.
Okay, and let's check on the other players that were awarded and officials in terms of Green Eagles. Of course, Progress Karinga was awarded as the most disciplined player, and we did talk about most disciplined in what aspect it means, but from their own assessment, Progress was the most disciplined player at Green Eagles Football Club. Most improved player, Samson Manyepa, and he won that particular award. Not a common name, not a name that we all know. And of course, there was a chairman's award which was given to Mateo Ndashe. Okay, I have to pause here.
I know.
The dancing defender. The dancing defender.
This man.
I think some people have rated us that. I've rated it as the best dance on the continent of Africa.
Wow.
And that's Mateo Ndashe. It's important to bring a different aspect to the game, and he just brought his own style, something that has never been done before. That's great initiative for the experienced defender, and we are told he's the oldest player in the Green Eagles team, and I think that probably he's even going towards his retirement. Mateo Ndashe, coach, did you see that dance?
Yes, I've seen it. It was circulating on social media.
What do you think about it?
No, it's entertaining, but the question that the people are asking, that he plays serious games, then he goes on to dance like that. So it's some people take him like he's not serious, especially that he's a defender. So I don't know, but the fact that...
But he dances when there's a goal that has been scored, so that moment is not for play. It's for celebration, so we can't fault him for that. Musuku, should we?
No, absolutely not, because it also gives you another side of football. This is why we love football. I'll keep on saying this. Football gives you different things. There's celebrations, you see people getting upset when they lose, crying. It's only football where you see many publicly crying, So if Ndashe dances like that, I think I enjoy the dance myself. So yeah, it's nice, and it just adds another flavor to the game.
That's Mateo Ndashe awarded as Chairman's Award there. And of course, there was also Commandant's Award given to Coach Agrichiangi. Second award in a few days, from Coach of the Year to another award by Green Eagles. The great appreciation for what he has done, winning at national level and winning at club level as a coach. How does that make you feel?
It makes you feel proud, and it makes you work hard in the next season, because you know that whatever Agrichiangi is doing now, even many years from now, you journalists, want to write about him because of these awards, because of what he has done. People will not remember what he got from Green Eagles, but people will remember his awards. And those awards are also good for his family, because even his children, I think they're very, very proud of him as being a father.
Okay, I'm very proud of him, but very good trajectory for Agrichiangi. He tried a few teams. He wasn't as successful as he was, but this time, at the beginning of the season, he just said we are going for the title, and it has worked for him.
Yes.
It's like having a different name, being given that particular award, and which people did not expect at the start of the season.
Yeah, but me personally, I believe that I think he should do more to win the actual Premier League title, because we saw him when he was at Zanaco, where he missed it on the last day. So I think that spirit should be worked out, so that at the end of the day, Green Eagles should be one day be the champions of. I hope this season Green Eagles will be the champions because of what they did last season. We believe that if they have maintained that spirit, they should be able to compete with ZESCO and Nkana and the Green Buffaloes, so that they can be there and win the title. Because winning the title utmostly, whether you like it or not, is prestigious than just to be given an award.
Yeah, but do you think that they'll build a team that can be able to go out and win the title? Even now, they haven't beefed up the team so much. I think they've recruited one defender and one striker. Do you think that they have the quality? I'm not looking down on the players, but even themselves, they have said we're an average team. So do they have the quality to win the title?
Yeah, if Tapson Kaseva doesn't go through an injury this season, I think he can make them, and they should also.
But he's not around. He's in South Africa now.
Oh.
He's joined Free State Stars. So.
Oh, I didn't have that information. Sorry for that. Okay, that means it will be difficult. That means I have to identify another striker who can bring them that, because now that they sold the striker, I don't know why we do that as Zambian clubs, that we can't maintain our own strikers. I don't know if we don't have enough monies, but I think we should do something, because these people that every time they succeed in Zambia want to send them away. I think we also have to change our paying structures, because this is the only way we are going to keep the best to our own. Because if Tapson Kaseo was around, then we would say something about Green Eagles that are going to succeed, and it would be automatic, because I think he would have known where he didn't make it to 20 goals, and he would have improved from there. Now that he has gone to another league, he's just going to show his prowess in another league. I hope he's going to be given, and I hope he has also found a coach as good as Agrichiangi, the way Agrichiangi trusted him, the way Agrichiangi communicated with him. If he has found such a coach, I think he's going to flourish more. But if he hasn't, then it will be difficult for him. That's why sometimes we see Zambian players going abroad and they come back again worse than they went, and they want to strive for another position in the Premier League.
You brought up a very important aspect, Musuku. Let's talk about it. I thought that acquisition and maintenance of players depends on the ability to pay by the teams. So, and the fact that if they get an offer from South Africa, for example, they are going to compare what they're being offered in South Africa and what they're going to get here. And I think we should be honest that Zambian teams can't beat South African salaries in terms of the players. We are still a bit far from there. So it also has to depend on the players themselves. They need to be a little bit more, what's the word? They need to be a little bit more, what's the word? I'm trying to remember the word. They should have the commitment to their teams, where they are playing at a particular moment, and not look at the money. But we are not looking at that aspect. We just think that the teams are not maintaining the players. Musuku.
Yes, I think it's worrisome when you see at the rate at which Zambian clubs are failing to keep our players. I'll give you a good example of Brian Miller. Brian was prolific at Green Buffaloes, scored goals left and right and center, went to the national team, and the guy flourished. The moment he moved to South Africa, the rest is history. He's been up and about, no he's at Beautico, no he's where, and up to date now, we don't know where the guy is. Personally, I don't know. But I think we should, as Zambian clubs, I think we should be working on how to keep them. We should do more on maintaining them. At least keep a player like Tapson for a season or so, if you can't keep him for...
Okay, that we've got some breaking news that is coming through just as we are speaking.
Yes.
That Tapson is back at Green Eagles. His deal did not go through.
Well,
in South Africa. That's good news.
That's good news.
That's
good news.
A news coming from Matimba Nkonje, who is just giving us that information real time. Real time now as we are speaking. That's interesting. It changes the discussion, isn't it? Yes. It changes the discussion.
Yes, but his deal didn't go through. To us, it's good news that he's at Green Eagles, but to him and his family, it's not good news because look, he's looking at it in terms of financial gain. So the issue that I'm raising here is this: that when a player has done well,
but maybe the argument here, coach, should be at what time should a player leave?
Yes.
Because there are prospects that you can have a bigger offer. If you play one more season.
No, the question that the issue is that the moment you flourish, because you don't know the next season what happens.
No, but, but how can you not know?
No, the moment you
flourish, it's all about hard work.
Yes, the moment
and consistency.
Yes, the moment you flourish. The moment he flourished at the Green Eagles, he's supposed to go to the next level, and that next level was Free States in South Africa. That was good deal. The issue that remains is when he has come back to Green Eagles, is he going to do the same? He might do the same or he might not do it. That's another issue. So when an advantage has been given to you in life,
there's more option. There's better option to do it where you've done it before, because in South Africa he was going to develop a new culture, new friends, new language, and that could have taken him time. But he's coming to a familiar territory. He doesn't need to learn anything.
No,
he doesn't need to improve on what he was doing last season.
Yes, he doesn't need to learn anything in Zambia because he knows the environment. But the question that is he has developed, there's more competition now at Green Eagles. So the question that comes in is he not going to sustain an injury during training, which is going to be given to him by his fellow players? No, those are things that we should be looking at.
That's thinking negative.
Yeah,
Not about thinking negatively, but we look at most Zambian players who flourished and they remained in their own league positions. Let's look at them and let's mention them by name and what happened later on. You'll be able to look at this issue of injuries coming in during trainings.
But we have the question of Water Warrior, almost signed for an Algerian side. He's back at Nkana and he's still
doing it.
He's still the water warrior that we knew. At least they trust him. They depend on him. Nkana, although other people have said he's not the same, water warrior we knew 2 seasons ago. Musuku, your case?
My case here is, it's not about, as coach has just mentioned, to say there will be competition at Green Eagles. I think that competition should make Tapson to even work harder, so that he even scores more goals than he did. Because if he managed to move from 6 to 19 goals, he should be able to move from 19 to up to 25 or so goals. It's all about improving. And even a club, let's say Free State Stars, the monies they offered him now, they won't be the same money as a certain team will offer him if he does it again for Green Eagles.
And does it better.
Yes, exactly. Like he did it at 6 goals. He did it at 19. If he does it now even better, as you have rightly put it, I think we have even a more improved offer than an offer Free State Stars would have given him. So for me, really, I would like it to go this way. I would like it to go this way. When a player performs this season, let him stay for another season, so that they have to polish up. And when you stay for another season, you increase and enhance your chances of getting a lot of money than the monies would have gotten there. Of course, there are those things they will say, no, when an opportunity comes, you just have to take it and go. But sometimes, again, we need to ask ourselves, am I consistent enough? Because when you go to South Africa, quite all right, you have moved and you have money there, yes, fine. But the thing is, when you start learning, are you going to hit the same heights as you were hitting in Zambia? My guessing point is that Brian Mwira, we all know, he scored goals against Algeria. He was firing for Zambia. He was firing for Buffaloes every day in the news. But where is he? He moved to South Africa with the hope of him hitting the same heights he did at Zambia. In Zambia,
we saw him coming back.
But we saw him coming back.
And
guess the team, it was platinum stars.
That is good what you are saying. But let me go through what the CIES. This is a Switzerland-based scientific research sports organization. They talk about the scientific parameters for soccer players, and they talk about value. So they say the following elements apply when you are looking at a soccer player. They say, one is the activity in clubs and national teams, how valuable the player is. 2, they look at the club and the national team results. So then the other third one, which is critical, is the age. So like the way we are talking about Tapson, next year, how old is he going to be? This year, how old is he? Then 4th is the position, in the position that he's playing. Is he not going to have another competitor this season going to the same league like in South Africa, or maybe to another league in then also the 5th one, which talks about league of employment. How viable is the employment at the ZNS? Is it well paying? Because normally when you are negotiating for a salary also, they will look at where you are coming from and where you are going. So if you say you are getting elite where you are going, it means that where you are going also, they will just add something on top.
I think in terms of employment, he should have a lot of motivation, because we see that he was even promoted.
Yes.
That is a plus.
That's a look. The employment that I'm talking about, if you was to shift to Free Stars, we're talking about big revenues coming in terms even of economic gain to Choma. If he has got his home is in Choma, he might have built good structures in Choma after coming from South Africa. Then they're predicting values. Let's go to predicting values.
Just one, because I need to wind up for the news.
The predicting values we are talking about is the contract duration, year of transfer, the book value, loan status, then the nationality, then the economic level of the recruiting club. So you look at the Free State, the economic value of that club is far much. No, they might struggle, but they might struggle in terms of the league, the playing in the league, but they're not necessarily in terms of book value. Understand?
Okay, but what we don't know is why the deal flops. Yeah. So we may be discussing out of context, because maybe even the pecs contributed to him coming back. We don't know. So we may be discussing out of context. So let's leave it there and say that Tapson is back is good news. He has to work very hard, especially the fact that they played the CAF Confederations Cup without him, and they did very well. So he has to work hard to ensure that he breaks back into the team. And the coach Agrichang at some point issued a statement that they can do without Tapson. That's a big statement.
That's a big statement.
So he has to fight his way back into the team.
Yes.
The position will not be waiting for him.
The coach is right to say they can do because everybody is replaceable. But there are some people who are difficult to replace. And those are high scorers. When you're talking of scoring, look at the Real Madrid. They have failed to replace Ronaldo. So the big scorers of the league, you have to make sure that those, yes, you can say the statement like
but
that.
But don't give them VIP treatment. Then you are destroying them.
No, every winner, look, last time I think we were talking about ignorance, but every winner, I'll tell you, being arrogant, not ignorance, being arrogant. Every winner, every person in his life, when they know that they have contributed something to the society, that level of arrogance improves. I can't say it doesn't improve with lessons. No, because arrogance improves. I am saying that arrogance improves because in a winning attitude, there's that a part of arrogance where they say no, because he has won something, that's why he's behaving like that. Even when you pass number one, whether in grade 1 or what, other people will also be talking about you because they know that you are not, you know that you are not in their league. So Tapson has to provide that platform. I wouldn't be surprised when people are telling that no, he's arrogant and stuff like that because he showed that he can do something for the Zambian league.
No, he needs to humble himself.
No, humbleness.
That's not biblical.
Humbleness. Look, humbleness will always be there. Humbleness. But arrogance, maybe you are taking it in the different context, but it has got also a good part and a bad part of it.
So there is positive arrogance.
Yes, there is positive arrogance. I think
positive arrogance, coach. That's a good one.
I think I would develop that.
You would develop that, eh? Yeah, it's a good one. Positive arrogance. Yeah. Maybe in Bemba will say Ukuyumfai. It's positive arrogance.
Because you have achieved something, yes.
From positive way.
Yeah. Okay, so we will break for news now and come back and continue. But let's just let me go through the 4 awards for Green Eagles Football Club. And like I said, the awards were officiated by the guest of honor, Deputy Commandant Zambia National Service, Major General Ali Kamiji, and he also promoted some players, and I think one official. Just the full list here: Player of the Year, Caesar Akaluwa, Captain of the side, Top Scorer Tapson Kaseva, back at Green Eagles from a failed trip to South Africa to clinch a deal there. Most consistent player, Boniface Sunzu, the defender, the central defender for Green Eagles. More disciplined player, Progress Kalenga, is a defensive midfielder, sometimes used as an attacking midfielder. Is a former Mufulira Wanderers player. The most improved player, Samson Manyepa. Chairman's Award, Mateo Ndashe, the dancing defender. Commandant's Award, Coach Agri Chiangi, and Meritorious Award is David Muvita, and I'm told he's goalkeeper's trainer. And of course, the promoted names are Sergeant Mateo Ndashe, Sergeant Spencer Sautu, that's a big name for Green Eagles, and Sergeant Tapson Kaseva. That must be that's much motivating now.
Very much.
Yeah, Tapson Kaseva is now Sergeant, and others promoted. Collins Mulenga, the left back, is now Kopolo Collins Mulenga. Last year he won an award. I think he was the most consistent player. And Samson Manyepa also promoted to Koporo. That's a double award, a double win for him, because he was also most improved player. And Koporo Anos Tembo, yeah, the striker, the striking partner there for Tapson Kaseva. And from the technical bench, Staff Sergeant Bob Banda also promoted there, and we told he sits on the technical committee for Green Eagles Football Club. And we leave it here for now.